Adana Okoye was the queen of content, the unchallenged sovereign of the digital kingdom. Her rise has been meteoric, her grip on the social media world unshakable. On Instagram, her grid was a gallery of flawless skin, luxury vacations, and soft pastel aesthetics. On TikTok, her dances and clean girl routines garnered millions of views. And on YouTube, her weekly vlogs painted the picture of a woman who had it all: wealth, influence, beauty, and a perfect home. Her followers affectionately called her Mama Glow, an ode to her radiance during pregnancy and the flawless postpartum content that followed. Every brand that mattered lined up to work with her. Every girl on the internet dreamed of having her life. But behind the glow, behind the spotless filters and the 1,000-watt smile, reality wept in silence. The mansion on the outskirts of Lekki, all white marbles and designer interiors, stood as a symbol of her triumph over poverty. She had built this empire brick by digital brick, hustling her way from the crowded streets of Surulere to private jets and designer closets. Yet, within those expensive walls, a tiny cry would often pierce through the curated car: the cry of baby Zara. Zara was just 3 weeks old, but she had already become the centerpiece of Adana's content strategy. Her birth was a viral event. Her first breath trended. Her first outfit, her first year, her first branded pacifier, all meticulously captured and shared. Morning routine with my newborn, Zara's skincare routine, newborn's first designer haul. The titles brought in millions of views. Brands fought to send products. Her emails overflowed with collaborations. And every photo of Zara brought in engagement metrics Adana had never seen before. But while the world was in awe, Zara was suffocating in silence. Her cries were often muffled by background music. When she fused during a shoot, the take was redone. Her soft skin, still adjusting to the world, was irritated by countless outfit changes done for content variety. Her head, barely strong enough to lift, was weighed down by oversized bows. She lived not as a child, but as an extension of a brand. Tunde, Adana's partner, watched quietly at first. He had always admired her tenacity. She had dragged herself out of obscurity and built a legacy. They were supposed to be partners, equals, but after Zara's birth, Tunde felt like a prop, just another background character in the Adana show. He noticed the subtle signs, the way Adana's eyes sparkled, not when Zara could, but when a video hit million views. The way feeding became strategic, scheduled around optimal lighting for a breastfeeding clip, the constant demand for perfection that left Zara overstimulated, overtired, and invisible to the woman she called mother. Then came the day everything fell apart. It was a sweltering Friday afternoon in July, the kind where even the sea breeze from the rocky coastline felt heavy and tired. Adana, despite the heat, had dolled up in the silk robe, her makeup flawless, her hair in soft curls. She was on a live stream, unboxing a luxury PR package targeted at trendy new moms. Zara was crowded in one arm, her head adorned with yet another massive pink ball. Her little fingers squeamed, her legs kicked restlessly. The baby had been cranky all morning, but the content had to go on. With one hand, Adana juggled the sleek boxes, speaking into the camera about the exclusive brand partnership. She barely noticed when Zara's movements grew frantic, her small body pushing against the suffocating hold. And then it happened. Zara let out a sharp, piercing cry, not one of hunger, not one of tiredness, but of sheer distress. Her tiny body jerked suddenly, and Adana, distracted, fumbled the box in her hand. A sharp corner of the designer packaging scraped across Zara's delicate forehead, instantly drawing blood. The live stream audience saw it all. The comments exploded in real time. Oh my gosh, she's bleeding. Stop filming. Take her to the hospital. This is abuse. Why is she still alive? Adana stood frozen, eyes wide, the phone still capturing every second. For a moment, time stood still. The reality of her choices, the constant chase for perfection, the need for approval from strangers, the commodification of her child crashed down on her like a tidal wave. The next few hours were a blur of chaos. The live stream ended abruptly. Tunde stormed in, scooping Zara into his arms and racing to the nearest hospital. Doctors cleaned and stitched the gash on her temple. The injury wasn't fatal, but the scar would remain for life. But the wound that day wasn't just physical. The internet exploded. Clips from the live stream were screen recorded, reposted on every platform. The dark side of influencer parenting became a trending hashtag. Influencer watchdog pages dissected the video frame by frame. News outlets ran stories with headlines like "When Content Turns Dangerous, Nigerian Influencer Under Fire." It didn't take long for authorities to step in. Child Protective Services got involved after thousands of viewers sent in complaints. Brands, terrified of public backlash, terminated contracts. Adana's email, once buzzing with collaborations, turned into a graveyard of legal notices and severe deals. Tunde made his decision quickly. That night, with Zara in his arms, he left. He left the mansion, the luxury, the cameras, and the woman he no longer recognized. For the first time in years, Adana sat alone in deafening silence. No ring lights illuminating her face, no camera lenses validating her existence. Just her, the emptiness of her home, and the ghost of choices made in the name of relevance. The following days were a storm of online judgment. Her followers dropped by the thousands of thousands. Her name was dragged on blogs and forums. Death threats filled her inbox. Brands erased every trace of their partnerships with her. Adana spiraled. She stayed indoors. The mansion now an echo chamber of regret. She watched the viral clips of herself, rewinding the moment when Zara flinched in pain. She played it over and over until the woman on screen felt like a stranger. For the first time, she allowed herself to cry. Really cry. Not the fake tears she sometimes mustered for emotional content, but raw, gut-wrenching sobs. Weeks turned into months. The legal battles came and went. CPS cleared her of permanent unfitness but mandated parenting therapy. Tunde kept Zara with him, allowing only supervised visits. Adana was stripped of everything: money, status, community. But what stung most was losing the right to be a mother to her own child. In that void, she confronted herself. She turned up the internet. She got therapy, not for damage control, but for redemption. She stepped away from content creation, got involved in parenting workshops, started volunteering at shelters for abandoned children. And when the time felt right, many months later, she picked up her camera again. But this time, there were no filters, no sponsors, no scripts, just a raw video of a woman, barefaced, in a modest living room. Her voice was shaky, but honest. My name is Adana Okoye. Once upon a time, I was Mama Glow, the influencer with the perfect life. I turned my child into a product, and it nearly cost me everything, including her life. I thought I was empowering women, but I was teaching them to sell their souls for likes. I can't undo the past, but I can change my future. This is my journey back to humanity, back to motherhood. The video didn't go viral. In fact, it was met with skepticism. The internet was unforgiving, quick to remind her of her fall from grace. But Adana wasn't seeking forgiveness from strangers anymore. She was fighting for one thing only, to be a good mother to Zara. Over time, she rebuilt, not in followers, but in herself. She downsized, sold the mansion, lived humbly. She shared parenting resources, advocated for children's rights, spoke about the dangers of digital exploitation. Tunde noticed the change. Slowly, he allowed more visits, more bonding time. Zara, too young to understand, smiled at her mother without resentment. In losing the world, Adana found one thing she has lost: herself. And maybe, just maybe, that was worth more than a million lights.